Very good morning. I am Dr. V. Naresh. Today we are going to learn how to create a VPC. Within that, how to host our own Linux machine and web application we will deploy into it. Then we will try to auto scale and load balance that particular application. We are going to observe the high level architecture using this session. Okay, yes, let me proceed. This is my AWS management console. I already entered into VPC. You can see the dashboard here. By default we have one VPC here and number of subnets for VPC you can see 6, which means it is a North Virginia, and route table which is associated with the default VPC, and internet gateway which is attached to this VPC. So this is a basic VPC structure. Now I am creating my own VPC. Okay, so before we proceed, I will show you what exactly we are doing in this with the help of this particular diagram. Okay, so let me open Paint and yeah. Okay, so let me consider this area as a VPC. Okay, right, so this is the VPC I am using. Let me increase the font size. VPC, I am creating my own VPC here. Within this I am trying to divide that subnets into two parts. Let me name it as subnet 1 and subnet 2. Okay, my CIDR block for this particular VPC is considering like this: 16 dot 16.0.0.0/24, which means the area of this VPC is going to be calculated like this: 32 minus 24. 24 is the network range, so which results in turn considered as 8. So if you take the polynomial 2 to the power of 8, so 2 power 8 if you consider, you will get the value as 256 altogether. So what you can understand, we can make 256 IP addresses for this entire VPC. Okay, so within this I am creating a subnet of two parts. So the CIDR for this particular subnet 1, okay, will be considered as 16.0.0.0/25, and subnet 2 will be considered as 16.0.0.128/25, which means 25 is the range of network. So altogether you will be having 32, because it's an IP version 4. 32 minus 25 equals to, you will be getting 128, means 2 to the power of 7, which means 128 So 0 to 127 IP addresses we can frame here. Okay, that is what the intention of this subnet 1. Similarly, for this also the network range is 25, which means this VPC is not going to be divided further. So this VPC is going to have exactly 2 subnets. So here the same principle you can use, 32 minus 25, which results 7. So 2 to the power of 7 if I take, total 128. So this total 256 IP addresses further divided into 2 parts. One is subnet 1, 128 IP addresses it will host, subnet 2, 128 IP addresses it will host. So this is how the CIDR block is going to be calculated. CIDR, CIDR, this is classless interdomain routing. Okay, with this we have divided these 2 parts. Now what we are doing here is we are launching this particular EC2 here. Okay, so let me launch Linux EC2. Within this Linux EC2, I want to deploy one web application. Okay, so this web application I am using with the help of HTTPD. Okay, so for that regard I need to give certain permissions in my security group. One is SSH and another one is HTTPD. Okay, so this is the website I would like to deploy on top of this EC2 with my own VPC. So this is my own VPC, right? So I am considering it as Naresh VPC. Okay, this is Naresh VPC. Okay, so this is what we are doing today. Let us see now. So this is my VPC dashboard. Let me click on create a VPC. Now I am selecting default VPC here. Then let me type the EC2 name as Naresh VPC. Some name I am giving here. Then IP version 4 CIDR I have selected. Then as shown in the diagram, I am taking my CIDR block 16.0.0/24. So this will be the range of my VPC. Then no IP version 6 for this example. Now tags are name and value, right? So click on create a VPC. You see my VPC is successfully created here, right? Then immediately the next step is we should complete this stack. Okay, after creating your VPC, you can click on your subnets, and you see since you are in North Virginia, already by default 6 subnets are there. Along with these subnets, I am going to creating my own 2 subnets here as part of this experiment. This is subnet 1 and this is subnet 2. Okay, so now what I am doing, just click on create a subnet and select Naresh VPC that recently we have created. Then select CIDR and just give the name of the subnet. So I am just typing Naresh sub 1. Okay, and availability zone I am selecting US East 1A, and the CIDR block for this VPC is 16.0.0.0/24, and subnet CIDR block you are supposed to give here 16.0.0.0/25 I am selecting here. Then subnet 1, then click on add new subnet. Then for this also I am giving the name Naresh sub 2. Then the preference for this I am giving is US East 1B. CIDR block is the VPC range, and subnet CIDR supposed to be like this 16.0.0.128, because 0 to 127 is occupied in subnet 1 from 128 to 255 will be considered for subnet 2. So that is the reason why I am starting my range from 128 and /25, which means 25 subnets, 25 digits already occupied for the network in the series of IP version 4. So this is how the subnets will be created, right. Now the next step would be like you can see a route table. You can observe here, the moment when you create your VPC, your route table created automatically, right. So either you can use this route table or you can have your own route table. So let me show you in the diagram, which means you are going to create a route table for this subnet as well as for this subnet. Okay, so let me name it as route table 1. This is RT1 I am considering, and this is RT2. Okay, these two I am now creating. Just click on create a route table, give a name as Naresh route table 1. Select the Naresh VPC that recently launched, then click on create route table. Then create another route table and name it as Naresh route table 2. Then select the same IP VPC that you are creating for your own, right. So click on create a route table. So you can see two route tables created. Along with this two route tables, you can also see some more default route table and our own route table, right. So these two we are working now, right. Now what we have to do is we have to attach a public internet gateway, right, for one of the route table, right, because we are attaching this route table and associating this with the subnet 1. As I clearly mentioned, this is your subnet 1 and this is your subnet 2, right, clear, right. Now in this subnet I am attaching this route table to the subnet 1 and making sure the public internet gateway is available for this. So I am attaching internet gateway. In the short form I am writing IGW, internet gateway. So let us see how to create an internet gateway. Go here, select internet gateway. By default you have one internet gateway available for your default VPC. Now you are creating one internet gateway, Naresh internet gateway. Okay, so let me type today's date, then click. Now you can attach this internet gateway to your VPC, right, and click on attach internet gateway, right. This is how you can do. Now go back to the route table and select one of the route table. You can see here, this is route table 1. Go to subnet association. As of now it is 0 association, means this route table not attached to any subnet. Click on edit subnet and select subnet 1 and save association. Yes, and go to another route table. Click on subnet association and as of now it is 0. Now you are attaching this to subnet 2 and attaching. Now what you can do here is, after this assignment you can attach an internet gateway for one of the route. So I decided to attach an internet gateway for one subnet, subnet 1 that is. So I am going to this route table 1 and going to routes, just see this, go to routes, and you have a local connection. Outsiders cannot communicate this. Now I want to change from local to all. So for this I am selecting all zeros, then the target should be internet gateway. Once you see the internet gateway, if you select, automatically your Naresh internet gateway that you just created is appearing here, and click on save changes, right. So this is how I can make sure the outsiders also can able to communicate. Okay, so this is an end user, let us say this is an end user is trying to connect with this particular application that you are creating. Okay, so this can able to first identify the network, from the network to host, right. So this is how they can enter into this particular route table through your route table, okay. So this is how it is going to happen. Now see, up to this we have successfully created our own VPC, right. So this is the way of creating our own VPC. Now once you get this VPC, see earlier you have only one, that is the default VPC, now two VPCs are showing here, right. So this till this point VPC was created successfully. Now the second step for this experiment is we can straight away go to EC2. You are in the North Virginia, your VPC also in the North Virginia, so you are supposed to go for EC2 in the North Virginia, then click on EC2. See, as of now my number of EC2s are 0 in the running state. Now you are going to launch a new instance for this experiment. Now click on launch instance, select only one instance, give the name of the instance as Naresh EC2, and let me give the numbering also here. Now select one of the operating system AMI here. I am selecting Amazon Linux AWS, Amazon machine image free tier I am selecting, 64-bit as usual, T2 micro since it is free tier eligibility, key pair I am creating for the Linux. So let me type Naresh key pair 18/12/2023 I am selecting here, RSA and PPK I have selected, click on create key pair. So key pair was created for me and stored in the local storage. Then you have to go to the network settings, because earlier we created a VPC for this, right. So what is the VPC? Naresh VPC, right. So this VPC you are supposed to select. So click on edit, change from default to Naresh VPC, subnets, select subnet 1, auto assign public IP should be selected as enable, create a new security group, let me type Naresh security group 18, and then I need to select inbound security group. By default SSH was assigned to this. Now I am adding one more thing, that is HTTP. So I am selecting HTTP, see that port number 80, and I am keeping it as anywhere. Then as usual storage 8 GB, advanced settings I am not going now, just click on launch instance. You see, if everything is perfect, then automatically your EC2 instance will be created. And now I am not adding in this EC2 with any one of these databases, straight away I am going to view all the instances. So what happened till now? We created our own VPC, the name of the VPC is Naresh VPC, two subnets are there. One of the subnet, my EC2 is launched. On this EC2 now we are going to deploy one static web page, and then we will make that into an image with any other subnets available in this VPC. So like that we can extend this architecture. Okay, so let us wait for some time till we get 2x2 check pass. We have to wait, and meanwhile we will verify whether all the details are properly stored or not. Public IP created, and you see 16.0.0.122 means what is the range of our subnet 1 till 120. See, you can see 127, right? Now 122 is created, means within the range of subnet only it is created, right? Like that, auto assign, public IP enabled, everything is looks great, perfect, right? Yeah, refresh, we should see 2x2 check pass here. Now what we are doing is, after getting the status check pass, we are going to launch this web page. Okay, so we are going to see that here. This is the website we are launching now. Okay, for that regard I need to use some commands. The commands are like after logging into the EC2, we need to use a command called sudo su. Then it is going to be converted into a root. Then here use yum install httpd -y. Then after that we have to start the service httpd start. Then you can also check the status service httpd status. Then you can straight away go to the site called cd /var/www/html. Okay, then after that you can use this command vi and index.html, and you can write your own HTML. I just wanted to make welcome to AWS, so this I want to keep as part of this, and I can just after this press I, then press escape colon WQ exclamatory mark and come out from your channel. Okay, and then you can just copy IP address and paste in browser. Okay, this is what we are doing, right? So let me do it. Right, I am in my EC2 now. If I refresh my page, I can see 2x2 check pass. Then I am just selecting my EC2, clicking on connect, EC2 instance connect, public IP address EC2-user connect. Then it will take me into my environment. Okay. You see one Linux 2023 looks amazing, right? One yes, it looks really great, right? So see, as our discussion, we can use these commands. So first let me use sudo su. So let me type small letters sudo su, and then it converted into a root. Now I am installing httpd, so yum install httpd-y. So it completes. Once it is completed, just start the service httpd start, then check the service httpd status. It shows active running. Yes, see here, active running. Yes, very good. Now go to cd/var/www/html. So before this, I just want to check how my web page looks like. So copy this public IP from your EC2 and paste it in the browser. See, it clearly shows that it works. Now I want to change this from it works to something welcome to AWS, like that. So for that regard, I am just using this, and let me type vi index.html. Now press I, just to type h1 welcome to welcome to Amazon Web Services. Okay, just click escape button, save and quit. Then you can refresh this page. It will change from it works to welcome to Amazon Web Services. Wonderful, right? Now what we are doing here is we are copying this, whatever the application that you are running, we are making it into an image. What we are doing, we are making it into an image. You see, this entire thing is going to be made it as an image. You see this image, and we can keep one more here as a backup. You can also keep another one. Like that, we can keep either this or this anywhere in your VPC. Okay, so that is what I am doing. For that, I need to create image. Okay, I need to create an image, and after creating an image, I can use that image for auto scaling purpose. So I can use this image for auto scaling, right? So now auto scaling is something like horizontal scaling. Okay, so for example, this application you have developed, let us consider this as an EC2. You have launched an application here, let it be. Let us say this is a application you have launched. Whenever you want to use this for multiple times, you can auto increment it. Like that, you can do a number of EC2s. So it is nothing but a scale in. Let me increase the font size. This is called scale in. scale in, scale in. Okay, scale out means if you remove something it come out, right? So that usually considered as scale out. Okay, so let me write, this is scale out. Scale out. So this is horizontal scaling and this is vertical scaling. Vertical scaling can also be done. We can add up some additional values. So this is scale up as well as scale down. Okay, so like that we can understand this is auto scaling. Okay, that is what we are doing, and assigning this auto scaling to the image whenever it reaches to the threshold value will be auto incremented. Similarly, when there is no demand for that particular application, then it scale out. So this is what we are trying to do now. So for that regard, what you have to do, just go to the EC2, just go to the EC2 and select the EC2, then click on actions, go to image and templates, click create image, then I am typing Naresh autos and 1812. This is what I made, right? So my auto scaling is like this, image description is there. I don't want to continue with enable, and I don't want to add anything. I can just go with the by default option and then create image. So what happens, the image is going to be created for this particular application. This particular application image is going to be created and auto incremented, right? For next auto incrementation, what we are doing, we are going to this auto scaling. You can see in the left side pane auto scaling will be there, but before that see whether an IAM is created for you, an image is created or not. Just go to an image, click on an image, you see an image is created for you. This is for the auto scaling purpose. I have used this image. Yes, I have an image. Now what I can do here, I can just simply go to auto scaling group and click on create auto scaling group, then just give Naresh auto scale, Naresh auto scaling, and just click on switch to launch configuration, then go to launch configuration. There is no launch configuration as of now. What you can do now, you can create a launch configuration. So it will take you into the next tab. Just type the name Naresh LC, that is launch configuration. In this launch configuration, select a image that you created. This is the image I created for the auto scaling purpose. Yes, so select Naresh autos, right? Then the instance type would be, remember you must select T2 micro only. Okay, so select carefully, verify whether you have T2 micro here. Yes, you have T2 micro. Choose the T2 micro, then additional configuration is not required, and IAM role I am not using here, EBS I am not using now. Security group I want to use the existing one. Just now I created a Naresh SG, right? So this one I am taking, the same security group I am taking, and key pair also I want to use the same is recently created, that is Naresh KP. I acknowledge this and click on create configuration. So it is creating a configuration for me. We are retiring launch configuration. Okay, view launch configuration. So my launch configuration is created. Then go back to the previous and just refresh this, select Naresh LC and click on next. Okay, then here select the VPC that you have created, VPC, and within this available zones are there. Select 2 available zones here, then click next. Then as of now I am not doing any load balancing, so keep no load balancer, and then no lattices, 300 seconds minimum, monitoring I am not taking. Next, what is the desired capacity, I am keeping 2 desired capacity, no scaling policies or target. Yeah, I am going with the default option, and here also no policy I want to establish here. I don't want to use this protection option against to my auto scaling. Then I don't want to go with the add notifications. If you want, you can use add notification and subscribe and get the SNS notifications. Then click on next, 0 tags, next. Then review the summary, everything fine. Create auto scaling group. The moment when you create auto scaling group like this, you see the EC2s are going to increase. As of now I have only one instance, yes or not? I have only one instance as of now, and you see when the auto scaling completes, it increases one more EC2 similar to this particular image. Okay, so this is in the provisioning state. Once it is done, then automatically we will get one more instance here. So that is what the experiment is all about. You see now the number of instances are 2, and refresh. See here, initializing, yes or not? So like that the number of instances are increasing, right? So the desired are 2, so apart from the original one, you can see the maximum 2, and if you increase the limit to 3, and 3 will be done. Okay, if you make it into 5, then 5 will be done. So you can simply go and edit the desired one or something like 4 and update. Then immediately what happens, the number of requirements are going to be increased, and auto scaling can give a provision for 4. So when it reaches to the threshold value, then automatically it shows. Okay, so that's what the experiment is all about up to auto scaling. You can increase or decrease based on the requirement. It is in the provisioning state. Minimum capacity would be 1 and maximum capacity 4, and desired would be 4. See here, see the magic. So these applications are increasing like anything, yes or not? So this is how we should practice, and we should understand the instances. All these instances you can see here, right? See, you will be having this particular application and you can increase the number of auto scalings. I am decreasing it into less number now. I just want to continue with only 1. So you can see that as of now desired is only 1 for me. Now the capacity is also I am making it into 1. Now automatically you can see the number of instances are going to be reduced. The number of instances are going to be reduced, so that is shutting down like that. You can shut down this, and apart from this, okay, you can also do auto load balancer. because my IP address is this, and I want to connect this, okay, with my load balancer. For that regard, I need to keep a target group. So first what I am doing, I am going to my load balancer. I have no load balancer as of now. I have no load balancer, and you see my auto scaling desired, I am keeping it into, let us keep it as 2, like the basic, okay. So minimum 2 is required for the load balancer, yes or not? So I will go to the load balancer, click on load balancer. I am going with the application load balancer. Create an application load balancer. Just type Naresh load balancer LB. You can use internet facing, and select Naresh VPC, because we did everything in Naresh VPC only, and you can select all these. Security group, instead of by default go with Naresh SG and remove default. HTTP would be there, and here I have a target group. So what is this target group? Whether when you have 4, out of 4 you want to only keep 2, so what happens, it will separate the things in the target group. So I want only 2, so the number of instances I can keep as Naresh target group, and IP version 4, and make sure you are selecting Naresh VPC only, HTTP, and checksum, attributes, everything perfect. And how many you would like to keep? I would like to keep this and this, and I am including here into the target group now. Now create a target group. Excuse me. So target group is included here, right? Now go back to your target group, refresh it, same like launch configuration. Target group you have selected, then add listener. It is optional, you have added, okay. You have already added here with the port number 80, so no need of again another add listener. On server, load balancer, targets, everything, creating a load balancer. Okay, your load balancer successfully created. So what happens here is, in this diagram, so this is my diagram, right? So in this, I am auto scaling as well. I am fixing the load balancer. I am fixing the load balancer. So this is what I am doing. Okay. This is the load balancer I am doing. So once it is done, I can get my own DNS name for this. You can find here the endpoint in your load balancer. Go to your load balancer, and this is your DNS. This is your DNS. You can attach this to your load balancer, and finally you can able to see the number of applications. just go to your EC2 running, and this is our main instance. Just connect it, EC2 user. You can always restart it. Sudo, use small letters only, then cd/var/www/html, vi index.html. So I welcome to H2, welcome to cloud services, escape :WQ and exclamatory mark. So it takes some time to load. -y already installed. Service httpd start. You see, welcome to a load balancer service. Yes or not? So immediately you got the updation here. So what you have to do, you have to go back and you have to start working on it. Okay, so this is how the images also going to work like this. Okay, so for the images also you have to make sure it should run, right? So what happens for your images also, you need to work, because once it is stored, and this image is only going to be copied. This image is only going to be copied always, right? So from this image it will take the load balancing link. So like that you can work with this autoscaling and load balancer. Okay, and now finally what we are doing is, after load autoscaling and load balancer, learn how to terminate. Okay, so first remove autoscaling and load balancer, then remove EC2, then remove VPC. So in reverse order we have to go. Okay, so this is from the image, and this is how you are going to get your work done. Always you can change, and the previous image is going to be applicable in the load balancer. So whatever is there in the load balancer, it will start showing and it will work. Okay, so this is the thing. You are closing this and just close it. Good. Coming out from the root, log out. Safely you have to log out. This is your image. This is your, which means all the target group, whichever is there in the target group, for that it is going to work actually. Okay, so okay, this is your image, means this is not updated, this is not got updated because second time when I added the text into the web application, that was not into your image, so the previous image is only going to show here, right? Because my number of instances are 2 here, I should always connect because this is public IP is not there for these instances. So while creating the image, you need to keep the instances like this, okay, but always you can run this application and you can show the result here. It's going to work like this. So each time when you refresh, it is going to work like this, okay. So that's all for today, but before we conclude, let me show you the entire architecture, how we are going to terminating all this. So we should go to the load balancer and auto scaling, we should remove auto scaling, go this, delete, type delete, okay. Then the load balancer, then the VPC, then your EC2s, then your VPC. VPC and your EC2s. Go to the actions, delete load balancer, just confirm. Otherwise, if you fail to delete, it incur charges. So you should be very careful. And we are going to removing all these at a time. Also, you can terminate. You can terminate all at a time. Successfully, you can terminate, and you can go to VPC, and you can remove one after other. So this is the internet gateway. First you remove, this is Naresh. So which one you created, you delete that only, don't delete the default one. First you detach from the VPC. Once you detach it, oh, so many things are there here. So first subnets we have to remove the route tables, okay, delete route table. It is in association, delete the subnets, you're deleting the subnet, and after that you can delete route tables. Make sure you are deleting the proper route tables only. Okay, route tables also deleted. Internet gateway, first we detached and now we are deleting. Delete from the VPC, yes, we deleted. Then at the end we can delete our own VPC. So this is what the flow. So we have to do in the reverse order. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.